Hi, I'm Sailor. Today I'm going to tell you my story. But before I continue, please share, and subscribe to hear more stories like this. Mom, my throat hurts again, Ethan whispered from his bed, his small face pale against the blue pillowcase. I pressed my hand to his forehead. You're burning up, buddy. Let me get the medicine. That was 3 years ago, when my 7-year-old son first started showing symptoms. What we thought was just another childhood cold turned into repeated infections, hospital visits, and finally a diagnosis that shattered my world. Ethan had a rare autoimmune condition that required specialized treatment not covered by our insurance. Miss Walker, the treatment protocol costs approximately $80,000, Dr. Hansen explained, her eyes sympathetic behind her glasses. I understand this is overwhelming, but we need to start soon for the best outcomes. 80,000? I gripped the edge of her desk. I work as an administrative assistant. I don't have that kind of money. There are payment plans, but they require a substantial down payment. Perhaps family could help? She suggested. My family, the Walkers, one of the wealthiest families in our mid-sized Midwestern town. My brother Richard owned a chain of luxury car dealerships. My sister Diane married into money and spent her days at country club lunches. My mother lived in the family mansion, comfortable on my late father's investments. I'll figure something out, I told Dr. Hansen. Ethan is all that matters. That evening, I called my brother first. Richard, it's Sailor. Well, the prodigal sister calls. What's going on? His voice carried that familiar condescension. It's about Ethan. He's been diagnosed with a serious condition. The treatment costs $80,000 and insurance won't cover it. I was hoping... Let me stop you right there, Richard interrupted. Isn't this exactly what Dad warned about when you decided to have a child on your own? No husband, no stability? This isn't about my life choices. This is about my son, your nephew, who needs help. Look, Sailor, I've got 3 kids in private school and college funds to maintain. I can't bail you out because you didn't plan properly. I'm not asking for a handout. I can pay you back. With what? Your admin salary? Be realistic. Maybe this is a wake-up call about responsibility. The call with Diane went no better. Diane, I wouldn't ask if it wasn't serious. Oh, Sailor. Her sigh was theatrical. You know we love Ethan, but Brad and I just committed to the new lake house renovation. That's nearly 6 figures right there. This is life or death, Diane. Don't be so dramatic. There must be government programs or something. Have you tried GoFundMe? That seems more your speed. My mother was my last hope. Mom, please. I'm desperate. Darling, you know I'd help if I could, but most of my money is tied up in trusts and investments your father set up. I can't just liquidate things. Dad left you millions, Mom. And he wouldn't want me to enable your poor decisions. You chose to leave the family business. You chose to have a child without getting married first. Actions have consequences, Sailor. I hung up, tears streaming down my face. My own family, people with vacation homes and luxury cars, wouldn't help save my son. The next week, my mother called. We're having the annual family dinner on Sunday. You should come. Is this about Ethan? Did you reconsider? This is about family obligation. Everyone will be there. I shouldn't have gone. But desperation makes you do foolish things. The Walker family mansion stood as imposing as ever, a monument to old money and pretension. Inside, the usual suspects gathered. Richard and his perfect wife Charlotte with their 3 children, Diane and her husband Brad, my mother holding court in her designer outfit, a few family friends and business associates. There she is, Richard announced as I walked in. The charity case. Richard, be nice, Charlotte murmured, not meaning it. Mom air-kissed my cheek. Where's Ethan? With a neighbor. He's not feeling well. Of course not, Diane said with fake sympathy. So tragic. Throughout dinner, they talked about vacation homes, stock portfolios, and private school admissions. I sat silently until I couldn't take it anymore. I need to talk to all of you about Ethan's treatment. Forks paused. Glances were exchanged. Sailor, my mother warned, this isn't the time. When is the time? My son needs help now. You all have more money than you know what to do with. Richard put down his wine glass. Here we go again. Yes, here we go again. Ethan needs $80,000 for treatment or he could have permanent damage. That's pocket change for this family. It's not about the money, Diane said. It's the principle. What principle? I demanded. Letting a child suffer? The principle of responsibility, Richard said. Dad built everything from nothing. He taught us to stand on our own. This isn't about me. This is about Ethan, an innocent child, who you chose to bring into the world despite your circumstances, my mother added. My circumstances? I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I have a college degree and a steady job. My only circumstances are that I don't have hundreds of thousands in family money like you all. Richard leaned forward. Let's be real, Sailor. You left the family business to pursue your creative dreams that went nowhere. You had a child with a man who disappeared. Now you want us to fund the consequences of those choices. Ethan is not a consequence. He's your nephew, your grandson. I looked at each of their cold faces. What kind of people are you? Realistic ones, Diane said. Maybe if you'd stuck with the family business like Dad wanted. That's when it hit me. This wasn't really about money. This was punishment for leaving the Walker family fold, for choosing my own path instead of the one my controlling father had mapped out. You know what? You're right. I stood up from the table. I should have stayed in the family business. Thank you for making everything crystal clear. I walked out, never feeling more alone or more determined. The next morning, I called Victor Chen, my father's former business partner who had always been kind to me. Victor, it's Sailor Walker. I need advice. We met at a coffee shop downtown. Victor, now in his 60s with silver hair, listened to my story without interruption. Your father would be ashamed of them, he finally said. Not of you. I need to find a way to make money fast for Ethan's treatment. Victor considered this. Your father never gave you credit for your business instincts, but I saw them. You have his eye for opportunity without his ruthlessness. What are you suggesting? The Walker family business is car dealerships, correct? Luxury vehicles for the 1%? I nodded. What about the other 99%? The people who need reliable transportation but can't afford what Richard sells? That conversation changed everything. Victor became my mentor and initial investor. Within a month, I launched Second Chance Auto, a business focused on affordable, quality-used vehicles with transparent pricing and financing options for people with limited credit. Meanwhile, I found Dr. Keller, a specialist who agreed to begin Ethan's treatment with a more manageable payment plan. I believe in giving children a fighting chance, Dr. Keller told me. We'll figure out the finances. My first location was a small lot on the outskirts of town. I focused on cars Richard would never touch. Reliable models, 5 to 10 years old, fully inspected and warrantied. You're selling cars to poor people now? Richard laughed when he heard. Good luck making any real money with that. But something unexpected happened. People loved our honest approach. No pushy salespeople, no hidden fees, just straightforward deals. I've been saving for 3 years for a car, one young mother told me. Every dealership tried to push me into something I couldn't afford until yours. Word spread. 6 months in, we opened a second location. Sailor, these quarterly numbers are impressive, Victor said, reviewing our books. You've tapped into an underserved market? People just want to be treated with respect, I replied, something my family never understood. A year after I started, Ethan's health improved dramatically under Dr. Keller's care. I'd managed to pay for most of his treatment through my growing business. Mom, can I come to work with you today? He asked one morning, his energy finally returning. Sure can, buddy. You're my good luck charm. By the 18-month mark, I had 5 locations across the state and a new division, Second Chance Financing, providing fair auto loans to people overlooked by traditional banks. I hadn't spoken to my family since that dinner. Then one day, Diane walked into my office unannounced. Nice place, she said, looking around with surprise. It's actually professional. What do you want, Diane? Can a sister visit? After refusing to help save my son's life, no, she sighed. Look, I heard your business is doing well. I thought we could reconnect. Why now? She examined her manicure. Brad's investment firm has hit some complications. Nothing serious, but we've had to scale back. Mom suggested I see if you have any opportunities. I laughed. You need a job? From me? Not a job, a partnership. I could help with the more upscale clientele. My clients are people you wouldn't give the time of day to, and they're the reason I'll make 8 figures this year. Her eyes widened. 8 figures? That's more than Brad makes? Yes, more than Richard, too, especially since the luxury car market took that downturn. You know about that? I know everything about the auto market now. It's my business to know. A week later, Richard called. Sailor, we should talk? About what? Business. Maybe some synergy between our operations. Synergy, I repeated. 3 years ago, I was beneath you. Now you want synergy? The market's shifted. My dealerships are facing challenges. Challenges like your best salespeople leaving to work for me because I pay better and don't create a toxic workplace? Silence on his end. Did you know J.D. Power just ranked Second Chance Auto highest in customer satisfaction in the region? Higher than Walker Luxury Motors? That's why we should work together, he pressed. Keep it in the family. We're not family. You made that very clear when my son was sick. Finally, the call I knew would eventually come. My mother. Darling, I'm hosting a family business dinner next week. As the newest success story in the Walker family, you should attend. Let me guess. Richard's dealerships are underwater since the manufacturer pulled his franchise license for warranty fraud. And Diane and Brad had to sell their lake house after his firm lost that class action suit. You've been keeping tabs. Knowledge is power. Something Dad taught me, actually. He'd be proud of what you've built, she said, her voice softer than I'd heard in years. No, he wouldn't. I built something that helps ordinary people, not just the wealthy. That would infuriate him. Sailor, please. The family is struggling. Richard may lose his main showroom. Diane and Brad had to pull their kids from private school. And we need to come together, pool our resources. I laughed. You want my money now, after you all refused to help save my son? People make mistakes. We're still family. You know what you told me when I begged for help? Actions have consequences. Remember? The silence stretched between us. I'll attend your dinner, I finally said. I have something to say to everyone. The Walker mansion seemed less impressive now. The furniture was the same, but there was a shabbiness that hadn't been there before. Financial worry does that. Everyone was there. Richard looking stressed, Diane subdued, my mother trying to maintain appearances. Even Victor came at my invitation. Before we begin, my mother announced, I want to toast Sailor's remarkable success. We're all very proud. Are you? I asked. Or are you just interested in what my success can do for you now? Richard cleared his throat. Look, Sailor, we've had our differences. Differences? I interrupted. You refused to help save your nephew's life because you were punishing me for leaving the family business. Let's be clear about what happened. We made a mistake, Diane said quietly. We're sorry. No, you're not sorry you did it. You're sorry it backfired. You're sorry I became successful without you. You're sorry you need me now. My mother reached for my hand. Darling, whatever happened in the past was exactly 3 years ago. I pulled my hand away. Not exactly ancient history. What do you want from us? Richard demanded. To beg? I want you to feel what I felt, standing before family, asking for help, and being rejected. Victor spoke up. Sailor built something remarkable while you all turned your backs. Her company employs over 200 people, helps families get reliable transportation, and provides fair financing to those who need it most. And makes a lot of money doing it, I added. More than the entire Walker family combined now. So you came to gloat? Richard snapped. No, I came to say this. I will never give any of you a penny. Not a loan, not an investment, not a gift. You showed me who you are, and I believe you. My mother's face crumpled. We're family. Family helps each other. I found my real family when I needed them most. Dr. Keller, who treated Ethan when he couldn't pay. Victor, who believed in me. The single mom who became my first employee and now runs 3 locations. Those are my people now. I stood to leave. You're really going to let Richard lose his business? Let Brad and Diane struggle? My mother asked. Your own family? I turned back one last time. When Ethan was fighting for his health, you all told me that actions have consequences. You were right. Your actions, your consequences. As I walked out of the mansion, Ethan was waiting in the car with my assistant, Melissa. How'd it go, Mom? He asked, looking healthy and bright. Just fine, buddy. Ready for pizza? Yes. Can Miss Melissa come too? Of course. As we drove away, I looked in the rearview mirror. The Walker mansion grew smaller in the distance, but my heart felt fuller than ever. My phone buzzed with a message from Victor. Your father built wealth. You built something better, a life of integrity. Proud of you. I smiled, thinking about the college fund I'd secretly set up for Ethan, the employee profit-sharing program launching next month, and the medical assistance foundation I was establishing in Dr. Keller's name. Success is sweetest when it lifts others up along with you. So tell me, what would you have done in my situation? Would you have helped family who refused to help you when you needed it most, or would you have walked away like I did?